Rising stalemate in the U.S. Senate, Kwame Holman begins.
It's must-see TV for C-SPAN insomniacs. At 6 o'clock this evening, the Senate went into session, and it will stay in session all night tonight, throughout the early morning, and all day tomorrow until midnight. 30 hours in all, non-stop. The marathon program is a dramatic attempt by Republicans to call attention to what they claim has been an unprecedented display of partisan obstructionism by Democrats in blocking 4 of the president's nominees to federal judgeships. Majority Leader Bill Frist.
We, as United States Senators, are being denied the opportunity to give advice and consent to the president's nominees because we are being denied by a minority in the United States Senate to give an up or down vote. It's as simple as that. We understand it. It's time for the American people to understand it.
Alabama Attorney General William Pryor, Texas Supreme Court Justice Priscilla Owen, Mississippi Judge Charles Pickering, and lawyer Miguel Estrada all were nominated to seats on federal appeals courts. All 4 were approved by the Senate Judiciary Committee on straight party line votes, 10 Republicans voting in favor, 9 Democrats voting against.
The clerk will call the roll.
And Republicans, with their 51-seat majority, have the votes to confirm the 4 judges on the Senate floor, but Democrats have refused to let it come to that. Senate rules require 60 votes to end debate on an issue, or invoke cloture as it's called, and move to a final vote. To date, on these 4 judicial nominees, Republicans have not been able to muster more than 55 votes.
3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative, the motion is not agreed to.
And Democrats could block 2 additional judicial nominees on Friday. Judiciary Committee Chairman Orrin Hatch.
The advice consent clause is clearly an up or down vote, a majority vote on the floor of the Senate. The Founding Fathers knew what a supermajority vote was because just a couple lines above that in the Constitution is a 2/3 requisite vote for treaties. So they knew what it was, and if they had wanted it to be a 60-vote margin, they would have said so. But in requiring a 60-vote margin for the first time in history and not allowing the majority to vote on these judges, the Democrats are subverting this whole process.
However, Democrats on the Judiciary Committee repeatedly have pointed to the fact that they've allowed the Senate to clear 168 of the president's judicial nominations.
What is all the fuss about?
That the 4 they're holding up are too radically conservative, with views far outside the mainstream of legal opinion. And on the Senate floor on Monday, Illinois Democrat Dick Durbin reminded colleagues how Republicans treated some of President Clinton's judicial nominees.
There were 60 nominees sent up to the Hill by President Clinton who were never even given a hearing before the Republican-controlled Senate Judiciary Committee. And so it leads me to a question of the senator from Nevada through the chair. Why then are we going to take 30 hours to debate the obvious?
Nevada's Harry Reid, the assistant Democratic leader, took the floor on Monday and for 8.5 hours refused to relinquish it in protest of the scheduled marathon debate.
We're going to spend 30 hours on the Big 4. The Big 4, they make a total of about $1 million a year. And we're going to spend 30 hours lamenting how poorly these people have been treated. And we won't spend 30 seconds talking about the unemployed of this country, people who are out of work for an average of 5 months.
And so Democrats say they'll use their half of the 30 hours of debate to discuss jobs, education, and health care. Republicans, however, say they'll look for an opportunity during the debate to slip in an up or down vote on one of the judicial nominees.
If they do not man the floor, we will put the question. We have the nominations are pending on the floor. If there's no further debate on the nomination, the chair has the right to put the question unless there's an objection.
This afternoon, Democratic leader Tom Daschle said that won't happen.
We're going to have at least 2 people in every time block, every hour time block, through the entire 30-hour period. It may be a little easier to have more than 2 people in the daylight hours than it will at night, but we will have at least 2.
Meanwhile, Republican senators will be able to retire to a room off the Senate floor to catch a nap on one of the dozen or so cots that were brought in today. Kentucky's Mitch McConnell.
I think there are 12 or 15 senators who've requested them. Senator McCain suggested we have a snoring and a non-snoring section.
The Democrats will not have cots.
I'm not sure why cots are necessary. I haven't seen a cot used in a long time around here because senators have sofas. But we're tougher than they are, and we sleep on the floor oftentimes, and we're prepared to do that as well.